Hey, what's going on, Laker fans? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Lakers have covert interest in trading Russell Westbrook. Could they actually move the Brody? We're going to get into that in just a second. But quick reminder for all latest Lakers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Lakers content, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Should the Lakers trade Russell Westbrook? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. And also, is he being unfairly made the scapegoat for the Lakers' early season mediocrity? Let me know down below. And for all latest Lakers news, head over to alllakers.com. So are the Lakers actively looking to trade Russell Westbrook? Well, NBA insider Sam Amick this morning, The Athletic, he wrote that the Lakers have shown some covert interest in moving Westbrook earlier in the 2021-2022 season, but the 2 seasons remaining on his 5-year, $206.8 million contract remained a massive obstacle. He would go on to say, inside the Lakers, it seems there is some recognition that this hasn't gone as LeBron James and Anthony Davis had planned. Now, so far this season with the Lakers, Russell Westbrook is averaging 19.5 points per game, 8.1 assists, 8.1 rebounds. If you look at his field goal percentage, shooting 45%, 30% from three-point range. But you look at those turnovers. Currently, he's averaging 4.6 turnovers per game. That's second in the league to only James Harden. Now, in the Lakers' win last night over the Kings, Russ had 0 turnovers. It was the first time he had 0 turnovers in a game since 2016. Now, when it comes to Westbrook, you have to take the good with the bad, because although he had 0 turnovers last night, he only had 2 assists. Now it's his lowest assist total of the season. He did have a 3-assist game back in November against the T-Wolves, but you want Russ to be playmaking. You want Russ to use his speed and explosion to get easy looks for other players, to get easy baskets for other players. You want him to get to the rim, and when he's thinking about turning the ball over, you're seeing he's taking a lot less risks. Now, I think you have to find a balance if you're Russell Westbrook, and you still have to find a way to dish out assists and find a way to get into the teeth of the defense and open things up while also minimizing turnovers as much as possible. To a certain degree, you have to let Russ be Russ if you want to optimize what he's able to do. Make no mistake about it, he's the most athletic point guard to ever play this game. So in order to take advantage of his natural gifts, he has to take some risks during the course of a game. Now, like I said, sometimes the turnovers, they've been careless at times. Russ definitely needs to clean those up. But you ask yourself this question, why trade for Russell Westbrook if you're not going to let him play his style of basketball to a degree? Now, playing alongside LeBron James, playing alongside Anthony Davis is different. He has to acclimate. He has to find a way to contribute without having that turnover margin get too high. Now, I think when it comes to Russell Westbrook and him being the scapegoat for the Los Angeles Lakers, I think you have to consider a couple things. One thing I haven't heard anyone in the media talk about is when Russell Westbrook was on the Houston Rockets, and when he was on the Washington Wizards, he was sitting out the second night of back-to-backs. Well, he's played in every single game for the Lakers this season. He's the only member of the Lakers to play in every single game, and despite having this reputation for going balls to the wall every time he steps onto the floor, Russ has looked exhausted at times this season. I've seen it, I've noticed it throughout, and I think Russ would benefit from a breather, and I think if Anthony Davis hadn't gotten injured, I think they would be able to lower his workload. I think the Lakers are saying, hey, we made this trade, we're paying him a lot of money, go out there and see what you can do, and he hasn't been that bad. We've seen some great moments from Russell Westbrook. We've also seen some not so great moments from Russell Westbrook. We've seen him help this team win games. We've also seen him hurt this team down the stretch. Just look at the missed layup down the middle that really cost the Lakers a chance in a loss a few games ago. But when it comes to Russ and the Lakers, you have to continue with this process of trying to integrate him into the system and hope that he gets more and more comfortable with his teammates, because the reality of the situation is the Lakers are 20-19. They're a few games back from the 5th spot, but if they had LeBron James and Anthony Davis healthy and ready to go for the entire season, they'd be right there in the top 3, top 4 teams in the Western Conference, and we'd be all saying, oh, Russell Westbrook is starting to come along, and it's all about second half Brody anyway, because look, the second half of the season with the Houston Rockets, he was fantastic. The second half of the season had with the Washington Wizards, he was outstanding, helped lead that team into the postseason when they were against all odds. So I think if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you are pretty much stuck with Russell Westbrook. Yes, there might be teams out there that would consider him if he wasn't on a contract that was worth over $44 million for this season and a player option of over $47 million that he's going to opt into after this year. So when you look at teams around the league that might be interested in trading for Russell Westbrook, there's just not many options, not many potential fits that would make sense based on his contract and his current value. I mean, I've heard people out there saying, oh, maybe the New York Knicks would want to trade for Russell Westbrook. Really, would Tom Thibodeau want to trade for Russ with his defensive lapses at times? Also, who are you going to include in that deal? Alec Burks? Are you going to include Evan Fournier? Maybe Derrick Rose when you can finally trade him? Are they going to really give up that depth just for Russell Westbrook? And then who do you surround him with in New York? And yes, I can see it now. The Brody goes to the Big Apple. The former MVP at the Garden. He's got his fashion brand. You know, New York is all about their fashion. I understand that, but the Knicks aren't the same Knicks these days. Since Scott Perry and Leon Rose have taken over, they're trying to build a more sustainable team in New York. They're not making these desperate moves and just trying to put an entertaining product on the floor. They're trying to win long term, and I just don't think they would make a move for Russell Westbrook. Then who? I've heard Boston be a potential team that might pursue him. Look, it's not going to happen. Teams aren't going to take on that massive contract based on his current numbers. And we could talk hypothetical trade scenarios all day. Oh, would Philly consider shipping Ben Simmons to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook? No. Joel Embiid, you got Daryl Morey. Would the Thunder try to get him back? No, they have all those picks. They're trying to think long term. It's just not going to happen. The bottom line is that the Los Angeles Lakers, they made their bed with Russell Westbrook. They are going to be stuck with Russell Westbrook, barring some miracle buyout that's not going to happen. And guess what? He's more than likely going to opt in next season. In fact, I guarantee he's going to opt in. 47 million reasons for him to do that, right? So if I'm the Los Angeles Lakers, I focus on the good things that he's been doing and trying to get him to continue to build chemistry with this team, and also fairly judging him when he's actually playing with this entire roster. I think Rob Pelinka isn't getting the blame he deserves in this situation because a lot of this is about roster construction at this point. But the good news is Russell Westbrook is still a very talented basketball player. When he's on, there's not many guys around the league that can do what he does as far as getting to the rim, as far as playmaking, as far as his explosive ability. He's had some good moments, and if you don't believe that, it just means you haven't been watching the Los Angeles Lakers this season. If you are blaming their lack of success solely on Russell Westbrook, it just means you haven't been watching the games and you're not following the roster construction and the COVID issues and the injuries and all of the things that have led to this 20-19 start for the Lakers. And the reality is it could possibly be even worse than it is right now. So I think if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you have to just say, hey, we're going to ride with Brody. We're going to try to get the most out of him, and we're not going to focus on his contract because, look, this is not MVP Russell Westbrook at this point. If you're a Laker fan and you thought you were getting that version of Russell Westbrook, look, that's unrealistic. The style of play that he's played with, the speed, the agility, you're going to lose a step when you start to get into your 30s. He's already 32 years old, playing the style that he's played with reckless abandon and everything, all the force he's played with. That is going to catch up to you, but he still has the bounce to an extent. He still has that speed. He can still help this team, but I think you just have to wipe away this whole idea that he's not a $44, $47 million player. Look, this is the end of a player's max contract. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they had to sign him to that deal, and he put in some really good years. So I think if you're Russell Westbrook, you're a guaranteed Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer. You were named as an NBA 75th anniversary player. Don't forget that, and don't listen to all the haters out there that just want to drag you on social media. It just comes with the territory of playing with an iconic franchise. So be patient. This storm will pass. This team will get healthy, and before you know it, they're going to be a top 4 seed, and I think things are going to change once the Lakers have their entire roster together for more than a couple weeks. But let me know down below in the comment section, do you think the Lakers should continue to try to trade Russell Westbrook? Do you think there's any team out there that would be willing to trade for him? Let me know down below. My name is D-Mac. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Laker basketball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Lakers videos, smash that like button. And until next time, go Lakers!